How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Family. We are back with another FPL video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Game Week 7 best choices for the captaincy this game week. We got Romelu Lukaku here looking very excited as he's finally got some good fixtures to show how many goals he can score and potentially, increase the gap and get ahead and then increase the gap at the top of the goal scoring tally for the Premier League in hopes of winning the Golden Boot. I had my money on Romelu Lukaku when I heard that he was going to be signing for Chelsea when I made my predictions video, so maybe that could come true, and he would definitely have to start doing it versus these run of fixtures as well. So if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new or haven't done so already. It greatly helps out the channel, as well as turn those notification bell on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, from price changes to injury news and anything in between. And lastly, make sure to give us a follow over on Twitch so you can join us live for our preview and deadline streams. We will be doing a deadline stream as per normal this week for the last game week before the second international break. We'll be up 1 hour before the FPL deadline, and there's a pinned comment down below to give you the details on that as well. So without further ado, let's talk about our partners for the FPL season with Fantasy Football Scout. So if you haven't heard about Fantasy Football Scout, they have a fantastic members area during the regular season. It's £25 for the membership, and that lasts the entire year. And during the off season, they give a 20% discount. But if you have missed that discount, fear not, you can still get the membership for £25, and it's fantastic. You can see the membership area just behind me. You have a bunch of different stats that you can use, powered by Opta stats, and create your own custom tables. You have the Rate My Team tool, you have the season ticker, player comparison tools, a whole array of things that you can use to help elevate your FPL game. So use the link down in the description below so that you can get access to these exclusive tools to help elevate your FPL game. Sign up now. Now, the first team on the captaincy list, it's a close tie for this one, but I think Manchester United probably just barely nicks it fixture-wise for the best captaincy options for this game week. Although FPL says in the FDR ratings that they're an FDR rating of 3, which is worse than Chelsea's fixture, I still think they are going up against a worse defense in Everton. If we look across the season, 35 shots in the box conceded by Everton, 6 big chances, and they've been expected to score or concede rather around 5.5 goals. Now, they haven't played anyone in particular. They have not really dealt with anyone that is of notable strength, much like Manchester United as an example. But they did get absolutely, destroyed by Aston Villa 3-0, and United was very competitive in the Aston Villa game somewhat, although losing that game as well 1-0. And Everton's defense looks like it can have a mistake in it from time to time. I mean, the first goal of the season they conceded was a mistake to Southampton, which is Chelsea's opponents this week. But I think they're definitely there to be got at. I don't think their defense is as sure as what the stats have been, kind of making out. The eye test probably shows that. They don't play out from the back as well. With Pickford in goal, you never know what he's going to do. He could be, making a mistake at any time, whether it be playing out from the back, or he tries to make some crazy save, or he tries to get over aggressive when coming to punch for the ball and could just miss completely, as in, he's not the greatest of goalkeepers. If it was for England, I would say, okay, United have no chance of scoring, because for England, he's fantastic. But for his club of Everton, not so much. But if we had to pick some captaincy options, Mason Greenwood has been somebody who's been taking quite a lot of shots recently. Some might say is a bit too greedy at times, and his shot selection has been much worse as of late, especially in United's barren run of 3 losses in the last 4 across all competitions. 1 goal, 1 assist in that time with the 10 shots, and basically he's expected to have gotten a goal or an assist in that time, so always overperforming in that sense. Bruno Fernandes took the penalty versus Aston Villa, although the ball is probably still flying, and it was probably sponsored by NASA or something like that. Fernandes is still on penalties, although a lot of managers have gone to 1 premium midfielder, and that's going to be Mo Salah, and 1 premium forward, and that's either going to be Ronaldo or Lukaku, or it's going to be Lukaku come game week 8 onwards. And then lastly, if you still have Ronaldo like myself, or you've wildcarded him away, the premium forwards seem to be the ones to go for the captaincy this week. Ronaldo's stats don't lie. 3 goals, 15 or 13 shots rather, inside the box, 3.54 XGI. I mean, the man can score goals when he gets the ball. It's just a matter of, can United, the rest of the team, get in the ball? I think in the Aston Villa game, he had only 1 shot inside the box. And I don't remember Ronaldo even having a clear-cut chance. And I believe his shot was blocked anyway. When Mason Greenwood's taking 8 shots, Pogba 6, Fernandes 6. That's kind of a problem. You want your number 9 or your number 9, even though he wears number 7, to be taking those amount of shots, and he's going to be the one who's going to score the goals because he's going to be the most clinical. I mean, the man scored the most goals in history, so I would probably be trying to get him the ball. But I think Ronaldo probably just edges it for me this week as the best captaincy option, just because I think that with both United and Chelsea playing at home this week, both of them coming off losses as well, albeit Man City is much tougher opposition than Aston Villa. I still think that Everton's defense isn't as good as what Chelsea's opposition this week is, which is Southampton. And Southampton are starting to show some form of progression defensively. Across the season, 48 shots conceded inside the box and 12 big chances conceded, with over 7 goals expected to be conceded. But that's gone way down over the last 4 game weeks. If you split the games in half, it should be even, but they've played 6 games, not 8. So their numbers have come down quite a lot in that time, and I think they're getting better and better. And that started with the United game where they managed to get a draw. And I think that they're improving. They'll probably be disappointed to lose to Wolves, but I think that their defense is definitely a lot more rugged than the likes of Everton's. Even though they've Vestergaard's gone from Southampton, they've lost Danny Ings' ability to press from the front. But I think system-wise, Ralph Hasenhüttl has them playing as you would expect in the 4-2-2-2 style of system. Livramento has been a revelation on loan from Chelsea, and I think that they could do quite well or cause Chelsea a bit of problems. We've seen that if Chelsea don't get the early goal, they can potentially struggle. Even in the Champions League versus Zenit, they really needed Lukaku to pull something out of the bag and only ended up winning that game 1-0. So Chelsea aren't going to score a bucket load of goals potentially against defenses that are going to likely try to sit back. Now, with that being said, Southampton could open themselves up, but they like to play a more expansive brand of football. The likes of Armstrong and Che Adams, they like to get shots off, and they will use their fullbacks, whether it be Perot or Walker-Peters or Livramento. Whoever's going to be on those 2 flanks are going to get forward and create chances. So that could open up the likes for plenty of opportunities for Alonso, who I put on the captaincy sheet this week. He's had 1 assist, 5 shots inside the box with 1.11 XGI, and he's a defender, so he could get clean sheets as well. And you can expect Alonso on set pieces as well. If Mason Mount isn't going to be available for this fixture, we'll see how Mason Mount's fitness is or injury concerns are if he plays tomorrow versus Juventus in the Champions League. But Alonso will be taking up a lot of those responsibilities set piece wise, and especially if Chilwell starts, you might see some differential captaincy options with Alonso. Kai Havertz is somebody who I think should come back into the team. He works the best with Lukaku, in my opinion, creates a lot of space for him, and is also very good aerially, which I think that Chelsea somewhat lack when he is not in the team. And I think that he could be, or offensive runs mainly, maybe knocking down the ball, providing another form of direct attack. Because if you just swarm a couple people around Lukaku, it's going to be very difficult, no matter how good your touch is, to kind of control the ball or win the aerial duel. At least Havertz can go up and win it as well, because he is very stocky. He's quite tall for someone who doesn't look very tall. Although his XGI doesn't look great, 0.36 over the last 4 game weeks, and that would be much more of a differential cap, more so than Alonso to be a differential captaincy this week. But the main man, Lukaku, up front, 2 goals, 7 shots inside the box, and this is up against some stiffer opposition overall. His 2 goals did come versus Arsenal. but he still had potential chances to score versus Man City as well. And I think that he's going to just rack up the goals over the next few weeks. So he's going to be probably heavily captained this week, and I would expect them to do well. I think Chelsea, I predicted a comfortable 2-0 win, and I would not be surprised if he was at least involved in one of those goals. And the one thing that we haven't seen from him yet is getting those assists as well, which he's going to do more of over the likes of Ronaldo. He's going to be more of a complete forward in that regard. But with that being said, we've now seen the two main guys up front. But what about some other differential captaincy options for this game week? Now, normally Liverpool would be in consideration as a perfect captaincy choice for the week, and especially with the stats that Salah and Mane have been putting up this season, both with 14 shots inside the box over the last 4 game weeks. Mane expected to have scored close to 4 goals and assists. Salah with around 5 goals and assists, so both of them, you know, going around their XGI or going beyond that in Salah's case. The problem is that they're up against the former Premier League champions, or current Premier League champions, in Manchester City. Well, they're also former and current. And over the last 4 game weeks, they've conceded 15 shots inside the box, 1 big chance, and have only expected to score, or concede rather, 1.5 goals. So it's going to be a tough ask. But I think that Salah will still be someone who you can captain. He is at home, and Salah at home can be a interesting choice and a kind of a different kind of look on things going for the captaincy. Salah's been on fire. He scored again in the Champions League tonight with the opening goal. Mane also scored. He scored with the second goal. I'm not sure about the other 3, but because Liverpool won 5-1, and I just was like, okay, well, they won 5-1, so don't really need to check that out. But Salah and Mane clearly are among the goals, and they are doing well. And if City are going to concede goals on the break, like they did versus PSG, especially the second goal, which Messi scored, which was a brilliant take, Salah and Mane can do as well as that counter-attacking goal, if not better. Klopp's system is designed basically to do that when he doesn't have as much of the ball as he would like. So it's going to be a very interesting battle. It's also the last game of the game week, so very intriguing to all have your hopes pinned on one last captaincy option against a very, very tough opposition. And then the other differential captain this week, and it's not really too much of a differential when you actually look at it, it's Mikel Antonio. He plays Brentford, which is a promotional team, but they've been quite good defensively. Only 21 shots in the box conceded over the last 4 game weeks with 9 big chances, 4.80, so around a goal and a quarter maybe per game week. But Antonio has literally scored in every game that he has participated in where he didn't get sent off or was suspended for. So in the first 3 game weeks, he got double-digit holes. Then he got a red card, which was versus Southampton in that 0-0 draw. Then he was suspended for a game. Then he came back and scored versus Leeds. So he could be an easy captain. He was a better captain than Ronaldo last week as well. He was a better captain than Lukaku last week. So why not go for it again? I just think that Brentford's defense has shown to be somewhat resilient, and they could be a little bit more on the back foot than what they would like, West Ham, because I think Tony is going to be up against 2 center-backs in Ogbonna and Zuma, most likely, who he will be able to dominate aerially, and they will retain the ball a lot more than what probably even Liverpool anticipated in their 3-3 affair the last time they were out in the Premier League. West Ham might be, it might be a little bit trickier for them because I don't think Van Dijk and Matip, they're good aerially, but I think they're much better defenders than the likes of Zuma and Ogbonna just in general. And if Tony got as much, glory and success as he did versus Matip and Van Dijk, what could he do versus slightly, I don't want to say B-Tech versions, but lesser versions of them defensively and aerially? So it could be a bit of a struggle for West Ham. They could be more on the back foot, which means Antonio sees less of the ball, which means less likely for him to score or get an assist. So definitely a differential captaincy shout. My money is on Ronaldo and Lukaku at the very top, with Ronaldo just slightly edging it. And then I would go for probably the Liverpool guys as a safer bet. And then lastly, I would say Antonio on that list. But let me know what you think down in the comments below as to who you're going to be captaining for Game Week 7. And that's going to do it for our best captaincy picks for Game Week 7. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new or haven't done so already. It greatly helps out the channel. And turn those notification bells on if you want to get the videos as soon as they are readily available. Drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, from price changes to injury news and anything in between. And give us a follow over on Twitch if you want to see when we go live for our preview and deadline streams. There'll be a pinned comment down below to let you know the exact details when our next live stream is. And lastly, make sure to use the link in the description below so that you can get access to the Fantasy Football Scout members area. It's going to help elevate your FPL game. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.